Hi, sir.
Hi Nitya, just 1 minute, huh?
Hi, sir.
Yeah, 1 minute, Tarun, 1 minute. Okay, so today I'll start with the DVC. So let me share my screen. I shared the PPT, right? I hope you've gone through that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Went through it, sir.
So any idea you got about DVC now?
Yes, sir.
Why we need to go for DVC? So DVC is basically one of the library. It is going to help us to perform the data versioning. So data versioning is basically one of the like important task for any MLOps project. So why we need to go for this particular uh, data versioning is we need to go and find out which data has given the best results or best accuracy. Correct, right? That is one of the important information for any ML model. So that to find out which model has given the best accuracy and which version of the model, and out of this version what is the data also we need to see and track. To track the data we need to use some particular library. That is where DVC will come into picture. So most of the versioning will happen with most code only, and then uh, model versioning also will happen. So along with that model versioning we also need to consider data versioning too. So model versioning usually can be done with tools like ML flow and Qflow, these kind of tools. And coming to data versioning, we need to depend upon DVC. And data versioning can be done basically in people use on-premise, and sometimes people also will use S3 bucket also. If you go and see, S3 is DVC is available even in S3 versioning also. So DVC S3 also available in general. And what kind of like artifacts usually we go and capture is data, hyperparameters, model versioning. All this will happen along with code versioning in general. This is going to happen only in the MLOps projects. And coming to like data versioning, and most of the times data and model will change because we will try to do multiple experiments. When we are performing multiple experiments means your data usually will be different for every model, correct, right? My model may have every time not same data. So it will be most frequently changing and requires the periodic updates will happen to the model to perform and get the best possible model. And sometimes you need to reproduce the model, reproduce the experiment, so that which is the best model. Maybe I may have got one particular version of the model may have given you 90%. And whatever the model that we got 90%, you also need to consider what data that model has used. So we also need to see the models usually will degrade over time. And we also need to find out maybe yesterday the model has given 90%, today it is giving 70%. So do we keep the 70% one? No, right? We'll try to see which model has given 90%. We will try to reproduce that. And we'll try to replace the current 70% one with 90% one, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So that you have to do. When you want to do such kind of like replacement, then definitely you need to have the particular version of the model and version of the data also. Then only I can achieve that. So there, model versioning, usually we go with MLflow, for example, and the data versioning, we go with the DVC. So we need to consider that. And apart from that, you also need to understand about this tool DVC. So DVC is like a collection of tools and procedures which will allow you to perform the version control of your data. And you just need to go and install DVC as a normal Python package. So DVC will work on top of Git. So when you are like working on DVC, you need to have Git also installed in your laptop or PC or your system which you are using. So once after your Git is installed, on top of it DVC will work on. So once you want to go and get a data versioning of your model, that particular data will be created as a DVC file. So DVC, when you go and apply to a file, it will generate a .dvc file, and on that .dvc file will be will go and upload it to the Git. So most of the projects where DVC is used, it will be Git compatible, and if at all you want to go and maintain the multiple versions of large files, and we'll have this particular large data, we can even push into the S3 bucket also most of the time. And we can use S3 or block storage or Google Drive or Google Cloud Storage. There are so many different ways where you can go and integrate DVC also. The storage can be anything, and that is our choice. And the main different features of DVC is it is reproducible. So where you can go and reproduce your data. If at all you want to restore your data, and I want to go and get the data back, I can get it back. And the language wise, it is dependent on the programming languages, and so I can use any language or Python or Julia or R or shell script, any language, and it can be easily integrated with ML libraries also. And it supports the Git branching even with the large files, and also prevent the data duplication across the experiments. and which is the easiest easy to use library, so where you can quickly install, and we do not require any specific infrastructure also. All this going to make DVC very unique in the market. Okay, so now let us see how to use it. So when I say like want to use DVC, first you need to install it. So how can I install? I can install like this: pip install DVC or DVC S3 in the square bracket. So this is going to install DVC in your environment. Or if you are using Anaconda, you need to use conda install -c conda for DVC S3. So once after you install this particular DVC in your laptop or PC, you will get DVC install, and you can simply type DVC --- help. That is going to help you to display DVC command, how to use it. Okay, and after installing DVC, we will create a project directory and initialize the git repo, because first you need to go and initialize git like this. You can see here I am creating a project directory. I assume this is my project directory, and I am just moving to that folder, and then first I am initializing git, and then we are adding the git remote add origin, add the git repo, and then we are moving to the main branch, and then we are initializing DVC. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say. Before using DVC, git might have already initialized. Are you getting, Arun and Nitya?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
git should be initialized first. Once after you initialize the git, then I can start using DVC in it. Then only it is going to help you. Once after you initialize it in like DVC, you will get this folder structure. Can you see? This folder structure will be generated along with .dvc folder, and .dvc folder will have all this. You also will see a .dvc ignore file also. How you have a git ignore, will also see a .dvc ignore also. So we need to see like how to go and add the files. And once after you see the structure, there are different folders are there. Config, a configuration file, which can be edited for using DVC configuration, plots, temp, links, and all these basically are the folder structure. And .dvc ignore is a like a file where files and directories which you have to exclude while applying the versioning, data versioning. Those files can be added into .dvc ignore. So git ignore, why you use git ignore? That file will allow you to exclude some of the files which you don't want to track. Similar to that, if at all you don't want to track any data files, those file names can be added to .dvc ignore. So once after you did this, then you need to go and like use git commit -m, and then you can start with like uploading into the git repository. And once you go and start and want to track files, assume I have a data.csv file, I want to track it. Then I will say after DVC in it, I'll simply say DVC add the particular folder and file. So this will go and start tracking our file, and it will generate a file with name data.csv.dvc file. And you can see here, after you executed, you will see a file with the name this .dvc. Can you see? This file will be generated. This is the output of that file. And how it will identify? By using the unique number. This unique number will be generated, and this will help us to track the file, .dvc file. And you can see the size of the file and what is the actual file name also. Can you see? This is the file, and this is the size, and this is the unique number to identify this file while tracking. that will be available in this particular file, and this file we are adding into the Git again. We are doing this before Git add. What we are doing here? DVC add. When you say this command, this is going to generate which file? This file. Are you getting? Arun and Nitya?
Yes, sir.
This file will be generated automatically. When you say DVC add, this file will be generated, and this file we are going to upload into the Git again. Can you see? Git add DVC and data.ignore also. Both you are adding. And once you add it, you will follow the git commit -a add raw data. And whatever the file we generated, we are just uploading into the Git now. So this file is going to use it for tracking now. Which one? This one. If you want to restore, and again you go back and restore this file only. Because this will have a version. Correct, right? Because this is the version internally. Even you go and git DVC pull, the DVC command is going to use this particular version number to select this particular file. So if my second time I again go and push the same file, that will have a different unique number here. And assume you change that file also. Assume your size also may change, right? Assume the first version have 1000 records. Second version will have some 500 records. So the size will differ or not for the first version, second version. Yes, right? If the first
Yes, sir.
version contains 1000 records and second version contains 500 records, the second version file size will reduce, right? When you go and try to upload it,
Yes, sir.
ultimately. So that size anyway will differ. And you will also get one more unique number here if you again do the same. So you can track like that, and that particular .dvc version will going to track it. So like that, you can go and do that, and once after you finish that particular like DVC, like add and finally like git commit and all, this is normally will happen. Assume that I want to push into a remote repository. We can use a command called DVC remote add -d storage, and this is my S3 remote repository. So as soon as I add this and this remote repository, it will automatically try to, when I say git add .dvc config and git commit -m config remote storage. So this will be added to the S3 bucket path now. My files will be added to S3 bucket path. And then once after you finish this, you simply say DVC push. Whenever I say DVC push, my file will be automatically copied into this S3 bucket folder. Which file? .dvc file. .dvc file only. And when you say git push argument, this will push the files into this file into git, and whenever you want to see the file has been pushed to S3 bucket or not, you can see like this. And here it will show you. This is the unique identification number. If you remember, the unique identification number is nothing but which one? This number. This number will be used here. Are you getting? This kind of number. Can you see? And you can see 151 MB file. So which means that you can see here the DVC store and 97 or 92, something like that. You can see here this 97. This 97 EDCCE, right? You can see this is 97, this folder, and you can see EDC. Is it the same file or not? Did you observe the name? 97 became a folder here in S3 bucket. And then EDCEE35 is nothing but this one from here. EDCE35. This file has been moved to S3 bucket. They observed that.
Yes, sir.
The same file, right? How
Yeah.
is happened after this DVC push?
Yeah.
Automatically, this is pushing my file into this particular SK bucket folder because we added with the DVC remote add. So that is how you need to run your DVC commands. And once after you finish that, you can also see the files in your .data.csv.dvc. That also you can see from your Git repository also. You can cross check the data folder. And how can I retrieve the data? Maybe as you mentioned, we uploaded the data. So how can I retrieve? So assume I remove the files also. So that I can restore the data back, I remove the files. Then simply if you say DVC pull, right, you this go and directly extract the data which is connected to our remote repository. Our remote repository means which file? This file only, right? When I say DVC pull, what happens? Directly it will go and pick up the current data version, nothing but this one. So here, when I say DVC pull, it will go and pick up the 150 MB file, and that 150 MB file can be seen. And what I'm trying to do here, I'm just trying to do some changes and appending some contents. And again, I'm trying to do the same DVC push, and I'm trying to apply some changes, and I'm trying to do the same. Again, I'm saying git commit and git checkout and git DVC checkout. And DVC checkout is nothing but to check out between to switch between multiple DVC versions. And git checkout is for switching between multiple git branches. Correct or not? How git checkout is going to help you? This is going to check out to this branch, and this file will be moved to this particular branch. And DVC checkout also automatically check out this particular .dvc, and then finally git commit is going to upload the newly updated data. And as soon as you done, and you can go and use the most recent version of the DVC also will be available. And DVC list is going to give you the list of files that are available, and where you can go and see DVC list, and you need to give the repository, git repository name. If you say data wise, if you want to see, then it will give you DVC list repository name space data, and data is a folder here. But here DVC list only repository name, I'll get the DVC ignore file and data folder. When I say data, it will go and display what is available in this data folder, these two files. So that is how you need to go and list out the corresponding files available in my DVC repository. And DVC get and the repository name, and is going to allow you to download the files also like this. I can download like this. This is the file I want to push into this particular folder. And import is going to load the data, and get is going to download the data. Are you getting? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So using Python also I can go and do that, but I need to go and use dvc.api is the package I need to go and import, and then I can run the commands with dvc.api.open, and I can go and read the data into a data frame, and I can go and apply some of the functions. And most of the times you go and track this particular data, it will be different from a different kind of experiments. And for every experiment, you will have a different version of data. So you should have a separate version. Clear? So how can you go and use this? We need to go to, for example, assume I want to go and install DVC. So let me try to use a remote repository. Yeah. Can you have some instance available? Instances. We'll take this one. Let us try to start it. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. All right. Demo. Linux demo key only. Okay. I think not this one. I think this one, I think so. Let us try this. No. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me try this. Okay, we got here. We'll try to install. So first I update the packages and now I am installing the pip version so that will allow us to install any Python packages. Now we can start. saying if you wish to install let us try to do one thing. Ah. Payment plan to activate. We are in now MLOps environment. Let us try to install DVC here. Try to install DVC S3. Okay. Sorry. See, now it is getting installed. Did you see this? Both of you?
Yes, sir.
So it
Yes,
is,
sir.
I activated the virtual environment and I'm just trying to install this. So now we can, once after it is installed, we can start tracking the files. So there are some dependencies which it will go and install. So there is a document available how to install this particular DVC with DVC and a DVC S3. I'll share that, you can use that. Okay. Now this is installed, and as I mentioned earlier, before you want to track DVC, you need to create a folder. So I'll try to create one folder. I'll try to see like okay, dir ml. MLR. We'll copy the file. Maybe employee .csv will copy into it. Okay. So if you go here, new underscore ml ops folder, and you will see now I want to track this file. Okay. So what first I need to do? I need to initialize the git. First, I need to do this, correct or not? I told you, right? First, if at all you want to go initialize the DVC, first you will initialize the git first. And it initialized, you can see a .git has been created. You can see here .git file. So before starting this particular DVC init, we also need to track with git. So that's what we started as per our commands. So first we need to add git remote origin, and first we need to go and create a branch, and then or you can go and if you want to create a git branch, you can create it. So git like a checkout branch -b branch command you can use, and then you can go and push into that particular branch, and you can go and start uploading our files, and we'll see that. And first what we'll do, there is a command available, and first we need to start with git command. So first we'll say git the remote add origin, and the git repository link is required for us. So what we have to do, we need to configure our git repository here. So git repository we will try to take we'll go here. Oh, here to see. So we need to add a remote repository. See DVC remote add. I'll try to use one repository is there here. I'll try to use that. Oh. There's a bucket here. We'll try to use that. Okay. There's the MLOps bucket is there. I'll try to use this one. I'll try to remove these files. So I removed the files. We'll use this particular repository. Okay. So I'll try to add this to create one folder here. Copy S3 URI. Go here. So we'll try to add So this is the path where I want to go and use. So we need to add DVC remote, add -d, and we need to give the path. DVC remote, add -d. Okay, first you need to initialize DVC init. We need to do this. That's why it is not allowing. First, you need to start with DVC init. We did that. Now you need to run the DVC remote add -d. See, we added. Now, once after you added the remote repository and it has been added, then now you need to go and upload your files. So how to do that? We need to go and add the files into the remote path. So to add the files, you need to see add. I did not. So my file has been generated. This file will be generated. You can see here there should be a .dvc file. Can you see? You see this in the last.
Yes.
If you go and add this file, you will see some unique number will be there inside. Can you see this? My folder will become now 24, and then this will be my file now. Correct, right? So I'll go and add this one to Git first. So it added, and then now I need to say DVC push. So as of now, I should not see any files in my S3 buckets folder. So there is a demo folder is there, but are there any files here now? No, right?
No.
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 Let me try to do DVC push. What is saying? Come to look at credentials. Okay. What it is? Okay, maybe we need to configure the. Oh, we need to configure. I think the AWS CLI. I think so. So the AWS CLI need to be configured. I think so. The AWS configure should be done. Maybe that is the reason I think so. Let us try to do that. Let's do that. Oh. It is not allowing. Should do the same. DVC push only. Added. Captain, DVC push is the command. Push should configure that. So AWS configure, yeah, it is required. So this is important. It is not allowing. I don't know why. Say AWS configure. What is not allowing? Okay, access PID and access key value is required. Let me configure that. Let me try this access PID. Hey, now it is pushing. Did you see this? One file pushed. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
I should have one file in my S3 bucket folder now. Let us see. We'll go back to my S3 bucket. I should see the most recent file which we just pushed. Can you see?
Yeah.
24 and the file. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you need to initialize DVC, and before that we need to initialize Git, and we need to generate the .dvc file, and the .dvc file should be added to the remote repository, and once you run the DVC push, it will push the files. So you can check with some bigger file. Consider one bigger file, maybe one 30 MB or 40 MB file, and see whether that file will come here or not, and see the size also here. So once after you upload it here, you can also go and like pull the data back by using DVC pull. For example, as of now, we have the file available here. I'll just try to I'll try to push this file. I'll say so I don't have any file here now. What I will do, I'll say DVC pull. You can see here one file has been added here. Can you see the file came here?
Yeah.
The file I compressed. This is the file. Just now we got it. Just now we extracted this. When I say DVC pull, it is pulling the file from which location? From my S3 bucket. I remove this file again, see what will happen. I'll remove this file. Just trying. RM. I'm just removing this file, okay? Is there any file with the name employee.csv now?
No, sir.
No. When I say DVC pull, it should pull the file again.
Yeah.
See, again it pulled. You go back and see, there is one more file here. See? Which means that when I say DVC pull, it is extracting the file from the S3 bucket now, which we configured. And DVC ignore will have the files which I want to ignore, I can add those files here while tracking. Maybe I need to ignore this file because I need to only track this file, right? Not this one. So we need to add this file into this DVC ignore so that while adding, this file will not be added. We need only that DVC file, not the actual file. Keep in mind that. Only that .dvc file only will should be sufficient to restore the data. The actual file do not even require. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So will you work on this today?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll say the document, how to install it, and one more document, how to go and run this particular commands, and you can work on it. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then, sir. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please send us the resumes, sir, so that we can apply for the jobs?
Yeah, I will send Arun. I saw your message.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.